a xenophobic, ugly American. The people in Geneva were just not nice to me. They were not friendly, and I knew I was going to be there for 2 years, and that if I did not want to be really lonely for those 2 years, that I would have to do something real quick. So I decided my only course of action was to procure a French boyfriend. And I did so. And I met this guy, and he was like Vin Diesel, right? Like ripped, just ripped, and like shaved head, and the kind of face that tells you that all of his brains are in his biceps. And my type is really tall, really skinny, like super smart, funny guy. So that was a good choice. And in addition to that, he was really into me, and he told me all the time how into me he was. And I was 22, and I did not like guys that were into me when I was 22. I liked guys who didn't like me when I was 22. And he was clingy, and it was blah. So anyway, we've been dating for about 3 months. I didn't like him, and I went to his birthday party, and I fell at this party. And I thought everything was fine, but I woke up the next morning, and I had this like Magdalena Hagalina Oompatumpa Wampatumpa bath mat-sized foot. And so I called the doctor. I scurried off to the doctor's office in my car, got massively lost on my way back to Geneva, and was driving around looking for the doctor's office. I see the street, and I'm like, sweet, street, it's here. Turn the corner directly into a late model Mercedes-Benz. And the driver of said Benz steps out of the car and proceeds to scream at me. Now this is odd, because I'm in Geneva, where people don't scream. They look at you disapprovingly. They tell you that you're not following the rules and what you're doing is forbidden. But there's no screaming. Like literally, they have silent trains. Not silent cars on trains, trains wwhere you can't speak. I mean, they could do well at Foxconn. Like, they could easily do the 18-hour shift without talking. So anyway, he screams, whatever, we sort it out. I go into the doctor's office, she sorts me out, sends me home on crutches and with a prescription for some pain pills. So I navigate public transportation back to my apartment, walk inside, and of course the elevator is broken. So I start my crutch up 7 flights of stairs. And as I'm going, I'm noticing there's an increasing amount of pain in my bladder. And by the time I get to my door, I'm like, I have the worst fucking bladder infection that has ever happened to anybody. So I'm on crutches, but I'm also doubled over with pain, unable to really move very well. I get into my apartment. Oh, I forgot to mention it's December. The heat's broken in my apartment. It's fucking freezing. And I happen to glance at the clock, and I'm like, oh good, I have 10 minutes until every store in the city of Geneva closes. And it's, so it's 5:50, stores close at 6. Pharmacy in my neighborhood is not open again until Monday, so I need to haul ass, or else I am not going to have pain pills, and I'm not going to get some crazy European antibiotic over-the-counter bomb to take care of this bladder infection that I'm dealing with. So I hook back down the stairs. I'm exhausted mentally and physically. I am halfway across the street, and I drop a crutch. And as I'm standing there with my pain trying to get this crutch off the ground, a car pulls up alongside me, rolls the window down, and says to me, Madame, ce que vous faites est interdit. And if you speak French, you know that means, Madame, what you are doing is forbidden. So, because I'm jaywalking, I didn't mention that, I'm jaywalking. Yeah. So he rolls his window up and drives away. I still struggle to get my crutch. I finally get my crutch. By the time I get to the pharmacy, it is closed, yes. So I hook back to my apartment, and I'm super distraught. I'm very upset. But I realize, as I'm walking back there, I have one thing going for me. I have a shitty, shitty boyfriend that I do not like. And normally that makes me feel really guilty, but in this case, this makes me feel awesome, because this guy is going to come over. He's going to bring me some crazy French homeopathic remedy to cure bladder infections. He's going to find a 24-hour pharmacy somewhere in the city of Geneva. He's going to cover me in blankets and cook for me and tell me it's okay that I crash my corporate car, and everything is going to be awesome. So I call him, and a chick answers the phone. It's a cell phone. And I'm like, can I talk to my boyfriend? And she laughs and hangs up the phone. And so I call back like 35 times, and he answers, finally. And instead of my like clingy, I love you boyfriend that I've known for these 3 months, it's a bro. And he's like, oh dude, that sucks that all that shit happened, yeah, okay. I mean, he's doing it in French, but the same thing. And he's like, oh yeah, no, I can't come into Geneva, I lost my papers, I can't cross the border, so sucks to be you. Anyway, I gotta get going. And I'm like, wait, who was that girl that answered the phone? And he goes, oh, that was my cousin. And I hear her laugh in the background as he hangs up the phone and tells me that he'll call me later. So, He never did call me later, ever again. I never spoke to him again. But I did talk to one of his friends who told me that he's a great buddy, but with women, not so much. Apparently he had this little shtick where he would make up a personality and act it out with a girl until he got bored, and then he just wouldn't call her again. So the only time I talked to that real guy was the last time I talked to him. And it turns out he maybe wasn't so stupid after all.